For the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market, go down to u7buy.com, link is down below in the description, and make sure to use code Vizeh at checkout for 5% off. Look, we already know what's happened with the recent launch of PES eFootball, or eFootball, or just PES 2022, whichever way you want to see it. This, in almost every single way you see it, actually in every way you see it, has been a complete and utter travesty. From the hardcore fans that has been waiting several years, promised and promised by the devs of the games, and hoping that one day that this will be finally the new era, that they were right the entire time, that PES is the right way to have a football simulation game, consistently being looked down upon by players and fan bases of the FIFA community, which they had almost a decade of success and higher figures in the player base. In the last few years, people that has played PES has had a lot more hope of they are finally making strives on having something that is almost perfect, a true football simulation game. And when Konami announced that they'd be transitioning from the PES Pro Evolution Soccer into eFootball, there was a element of this is it, this is the new generation of PES. This is a new thing that will take the entire football industry by storm, the gaming industry, and be a real challenger to FIFA. To say that the launch of eFootball was underwhelming is an understatement. It not only was a laughingstock to everyone outside of the PES community, but even the PES fans. The fans of PES are more embarrassed by this game than what any other fan is from the outside looking in. People of the FIFA community may look at it and laugh, but it's really the true audience and community inside of the PES scene which feel like they've invested a long time into this, and by having delay after delay, from false promise to false promise, 2 months on since the launch of eFootball, has there been any progress? And sadly, the answer is no. Konami stated that the version 1.0.0 update, which is in theory the actual full release of the game, would always come out on November 11th. Remember, this is after a few other delays to get the game out in the first place before in the past, and it has been delayed not till December or January, but to spring 2022. That is several months delay of this game, of the actual full version. Now, people may say, oh, so we're not playing the full version of the game, but it's not an alpha, it's not a beta what we're playing now. We're playing a release of the game. It may be called 0.9.1, it may be officially not the 1.0, but it is still a release of the game. And the fact that they've released it in this state is forever going to be a complete mystery. Now, of course, I could go on about the launch of eFootball and what was wrong, but I am very confident that you've already seen the plethora of tweets and videos and articles showing and stating what was wrong with the launch, what was missing, what was the problems, what was the glitches. So I'm not going to put too much time and effort into it because you are most likely already well aware. And to be fair, I could state into every single problem and every single glitch of the game, but I could be here for a long time. So in short, it was a complete mess. The gameplay just wasn't smooth in any way. It wasn't even recognizable to previous games. It felt like it was a completely different company even attempting to make this game. Not just by the gameplay, but also by the graphics, also by the questionable UI of the interface, and most importantly, the absolute lack of launch material on the game. How do you expect to bring what is essentially a demo? I may say these teams are not like, you know, a league or maybe a few leagues. No, it's 9. 9 teams were the options. Arsenal, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Corinthians, Manchester United, Flamengo, Juventus, River Plate, and Sao Paulo. So out of those 9 teams, you only got about 5 teams that's actually from Europe and 4 teams from South America. That is not enough. And if you're going to drop this, then you've got to be swift with a new update to give people just that instant feeling of, yes, there's more to come, there's more coming on. And when you say that you've postponed it to spring, which could be any time in spring, of course, I can't exactly look at how many downloads there is on Xbox or PS of eFootball, but I can look at Steam as just one small example, I guess, of a platform which shows how far off eFootball really are from FIFA. This is a screenshot from today of this recording, the 8th of December 2021, and from this you see that they've got a 24-hour peak. So their highest player base in the last 24 hours was 1,129. Of course, at the time these both screenshots were took, there were 344 people playing at the current moment. Compare this to FIFA, which of course FIFA is at the same time not known for their Steam and PC player base. They actually got out of the way to purposely not give the PC players enough reasons to buy the game. At the current moment, they had 39,500 24-hour peak at the same time of the screenshot, and at the same time screenshot as well, 13,896 in comparison to eFootball having 344. Because you know what's crazy? Guess how many people are playing PES 2021 right now? 4,615. That's 11,000 in the last 24 hours compared to eFootball. How is your new game that you dropped down below by about 85%? How can you release this without the content that people needed and then to delay even further? That is just one sliver of the gap between these two now, and that is pathetic. I'll definitely say that a lot of players in PES scene prefer to play the game on Steam and on PC so that they can put mods. eFootball and PES has really been building a great modern community in the last 2-3 years, that you've got some incredible mods that can create and absolutely revolutionize football simulation games. I've done it myself, I've modded PES myself, and it is really an incredible football experience. That the feel of the game, the realism from the cameras and the weather and the feel of the gameplay itself, of how realistic it feels so great to score a goal. PES at its absolute best. This that we got right now, there's a tiny little bit of life that you can try to scrape from it, but there's so much going against you in this game, that how the game is, the glitchiness of the players, how they bounce off each other or go inside each other at a consistent basis. You've got to try really hard to get a nice, well-worked goal happening that doesn't look absolutely stupid, and that is not even considering the absolutely pathetic graphics and stadium and fan textures that's put in the game. So what now? What can Konami possibly do to try and save this? And that is by doing one thing, really, to try and save the audience that they've already got, because most have already gone back to PES 2021 season update. The fan base of PES is hoping that they could do a season update of PES 2021 and do a PES 2022. That would be what I would do. I would do two things: either completely scrap eFootball, which from what I see has no chance of surviving this. They should go back to just being PES and doing what they're already doing, thriving off their mod player base and trying to move forward with that, and try to ignore this, because I don't think people can give it a chance again after what they've already seen. First impressions matter. It really matters, and from what I've gone through, with what the fans or the player base have gone through, some may never trust them ever again with the amount of promises that they've made. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments about what's happened to PES and eFootball in the last few months. This is the situation it's in right now. There's been no change and no hope for eFootball until maybe at least spring next year, but I think that's too late. I think the people that will come back are already the hardcore, because I think most people are just having fun, just modding their own way on PES 2021 and trying to have fun with that. Because the fact that they've dropped this game and they've got no other content, they're delaying the likes of My Club and all these very important and historic game modes that's always been a part of these games, how they've failed to reach this normal standard of what they usually get is mind-boggling. So there you go. eFootball, how to kill a franchise. PES may still survive, because that community I know are very, very passionate about that game. But for eFootball, to potentially be making a comeback again? I don't know. I really doubt it. Thank you all for watching. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. Let's try and hit 2,000 likes. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. And peace out, boys.